Hey losers, welcome to Rob Reacts 2. Today I want to talk about dudes and yoga. This morning I went to yoga at Yoga House in Catford. They have a hot room there, and the excellent Alice Billery does an hour of yin and yang yoga. I've only started doing yoga since the start of this year, and in fact the journey of me knowing my own body has only really happened in the last 2 to 3 years. And there's a lot of stories in that. My first career was as a software developer, and I would say for the first 20 something years of my life, seriously, my head was just going around dragging my body along. And there's a lot of things that happened that started connecting me into my body and realizing that I actually have a body and what the body can do, and how the body is the instrument with which you're able to manifest in life. And if you're only connected to this part, then the manifestation will only be from here. If the manifestation of whatever you're making just comes from here, it's just going to be thought, rational arguments, that kind of thing. As a very simple example of that, I think about the coaching that I do. Now, if my coaching was just from the head to someone else's head, then all I'm doing is using my brain and my mouth, and I'm looking at them as a problem to solve. And I'm thinking about their problem, and we're working it out, and it's just all head stuff. But nothing shifts emotionally because all I'm doing is just with the head. If during my coaching I'm breathing and I'm actually aware of the rest of my body, I'm aware of my heart, of my gut, and when I feel something in my body, often that's a sign to show that something else is happening. I might say something to my client like, I'm feeling like, after you said that, I feel like a real kind of tightness in my belly. And they'll say, yeah, me too. And then we actually can explore what that is, which actually leads to much more deeper and meaningful things because we're addressing the whole person and the whole of their life rather than just their head. So what yoga does for me is it returns me to my whole body. So in yang yoga, which is all the dynamic yoga that you see around about, flowing, and you go from posture to posture to posture. Whereas in yin yoga, so yin and yang, in yin yoga, what you're doing is just sitting in one posture for 3 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes. And you start off light and then you deepen into it. And what that asks you to do is to actually be in your body and go, gee, what's happening in there? And where can I go deeper? And what's happening there? And where's this? And that really hurts. Or that was easier doing that posture on that side, but on that posture it's a lot harder. And the other thing I love about yoga is that it's always humbling. Like every time I arrive on the mat, no matter who I think I am or what I think I can do, there's always some part of me which is humbled, which is just do the work, I'm in downward dog again. Yep, I'm in downward dog again. I'm holding myself up, these arms, these legs, these things, And I am by far the unbalanced, the least flexible person in every single yoga session I'm in. By far. In every single yoga session I'm in, if there's a mirror in front, which I don't like, I am the least smooth. My postures are the most have got the most angles to them. And I'm completely fine with that because it's about the practice of becoming aware of the body. And I actually wish that way more dudes did yoga because it asks you so many questions of yourself that I don't think more masculine fitness practices ask. I did CrossFit for a while, which was the worst thing for me. And that's, just all about just repetition and go, go, go. And within that, I never felt any joy. I never felt any deeper connection to my body. All I did maybe was feel some external material achievement because finally I was able to achieve 25 reps or whatever the heck. But yoga, what that does, it actually asks me to connect with my body. It's hard. It's hard for me. Alice Billery's class that I did this morning is half yang and half yin, which I love. So the first half we're doing downward dog, doing flows. But then when we go to the yin part, where we just stay in one position. So for example, one of her yin positions is you put down a bolster, like a big, almost like a round, thin beanbag, and you put it down and you lie on your back and you open your entire chest. You just lie on that with your legs in a butterfly position. And what it's doing is it's actually opening up everything here. All the things that we normally don't open. These are all the things we normally keep closed. And the judgments that happen during some poses in yin yoga on myself, I just go, this isn't doing anything. How am I getting stronger with this? But in fact, what it's doing is opening up emotionally all the areas of my body which might be otherwise cut off most of the time, which is, I think, is another reason why more dudes should do yoga. And I do recommend yin as a great way into yoga, because it's very easy that if you go into yang yoga, and especially with some teachers, it becomes just about the achievement of the physical practice. It's this many flows, you've done it, but you're actually not connected to what you're doing. Yin yoga, some poses can be particularly challenging, and also it asks you not to go at 100% straight away, right? So within a yin pose, you might do 6 minutes and you might start at 40% and then gradually open up and widen and widen and widen and find as much depth as you can in the posture, but you've done it completely mindfully. There's a whole lot in there. But I love yoga. I try to go twice a week. And if you watch yesterday's video where I talked about the Anthony Robbins thing of state followed by story followed by strategy, this morning's yoga practice was my physiological trigger to then actually start doing work afterwards. There was an email that I had been avoiding, and I deliberately didn't look at it until I knew I was going to be in a physiological state where I had resources. I first did yoga, and then I went to a cafe afterwards, and I opened up that email, and I was able to read it with open eyes and open heart, and really take it all in and consider it at its fullest, rather than feel defensive, feel tired, whatever it might be. There's a lot more stories about the physical body that I have, because I'm someone who was completely disconnected from their body, and I'm still learning a lot. And if you're male or female, or however you identify, and you don't feel connected to your body, or you're doing a practice which you feel isn't serving your relationship with your body, all it's doing is just for results, I'll tell a few more stories over the next few weeks about how I came into connection with my body. And again, like, I've only started doing yoga this year, and by far more than anything that I've done has been the most gentle, challenging, strength building, valuable thing for me. And every time I hit the mat, I think this isn't doing anything. Yep. But again, building on the theme from yesterday where we talked about wealth, your body is one of the things which provides you the most wealth, in that it carries you around, it makes you alert to things. You can see, you can hear, depending on how connected you are with it. It can provide so much wealth. So how are you investing it? And also with that investment and the return, as I'm discovering, it can take a really long time to actually go deeper into it. What's important, I think, is that you have a mat to go on a few times a week regularly, so that you're able to keep in contact and keep in contact with your body and continuing building your relationship with it, whatever that needs to be for you. Dudes, do more yoga, seriously. Try doing a yin class somewhere. I really recommend it. So thanks. Subscribe, comment, share some experiences you've had with your own body. I'll respond to them. See you on Monday.